Music licensing reimagined.
I'm in the show.
We are live. We are. What do we call this? We are jiving.
Oh my God! Listen to this. Off the chart.
I'm gonna find some more music anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Mark Gassard, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Good.
Right out of here in Peachtree City, man. I mean Peachtree Corners. I'm sorry. There is a Peachtree City too, by the way.
Is that
Man,
right?
we got so much Peachtree, I can't keep my mind straight around it. But
that's what they say, peachy keen, huh?
yeah, I'm telling you. And,
yeah, we didn't do last week.
Yeah, we didn't do, but the week before we had a lot of fun, and Tom's mic was up, down, all around, but it locked in, when it needed to.
I think we got it. Dialed in.
I think you
today,
do too, man. I think you tremendous.
Yeah, last week we got hit with tornadoes in our area.
Right.
It flew right over our house and landed about 50 miles away and wiped out a town called Menasha. Actually wiped down the entire downtown, wiped it out. It was on the ground for 12 miles for 26 minutes. It was pretty intense, an EF3 or whatever, so it was pretty strong, 145 mile an hour winds. And
that's incredible, man.
Nothing but sirens going off for a couple, 3 hours, and warnings and phone saying take shelter.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
That's it. Yeah. So last week was an interesting week here. Last Monday, and no tornado weather. Had a great weekend. Had Kathy's family reunions. Her family. We had rain all morning, and then it cleared up about 3 o'clock, and we were able to do some pontooning, boat rides, because her cousin has a house on a lake out here. So,
oh, nice.
One of many lakes in Lake Country here. So, a nice day, nice and relaxing. Good food. Ate too much. Didn't drink. Didn't have one beer.
Good for you.
But I lost the desire to even drink beer. I don't know. It just says, doesn't even sound good to me anymore. So, but anyway, it was a good time. Connecting with family coming in from Texas and Minnesota and Florida and blah blah blah. So it was a good time. Good time.
Well, that's good to hear,
Gotta
Tom.
be grateful. What's that?
I said that's very good to hear. It sounds like you had fun with the people you were hanging out with, and
Oh yeah, catching up and seeing what's going on in their lives. And how was your weekend, my friend? I know you have been having a lot going on.
Yeah, a little bit. How was my weekend? Well, we're going to get into my weekend, but I actually had a great weekend. Yesterday I got some time. Gina and I were able to see our granddaughter. That was cool, very cool. And Evie is growing like a weed and getting pretty animated, as most kids do at like about 18 months. Nice, relaxing
like
time.
Yesterday that the baby was born. But
yeah, I'm telling you. And by the way, the next one's due somewhere like, I want to say, Tom, August 27. Don't quote me on that, but you know how the stork has different agendas than what doctors say. So,
Well, gestation is 9 months. It's a year from now. So we're talking June.
Well, actually, this next August. I mean, we're talking now. We're talking this month.
Oh,
I
this
keep forgetting
month.
it.
Okay. Not next.
I'm talking that I keep forgetting, Tom. It's August the 3rd. You believe that? And do you believe I'll be going to a football game this Friday to it's a scrimmage, high school game. So that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, the time is marching on, man.
Well, the kids here are just getting into their first week of football practice here.
No, man. Your first week? Really?
Yeah.
Man, they don't come where I live, man. They live, eat, breathe, sleep.
The first game is usually that that Friday of Labor Day weekend, or the
Is it?
Friday
Okay.
after, one of the two, is usually the
Yeah.
first game that these.
Nice.
A little bit different out here. We start a little later in school, and September is usually that first
Right.
week of Labor Day, and but anyway,
Well, that's a good thing.
yeah. So football's a big thing around here, like most communities, and
Oh yeah, high school football is a lot of fun. And,
yeah. Hey, I want to make a shout out to a childhood friend of mine
mm,
that was just honored. Greg Denyer is his name.
oh, nice.
He was just honored as a Hall of Famer in Mississippi football.
Oh, he went to the
He was
college.
inducted into High School Hall of Fame football.
Oh, high school. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Ocean Springs is where he was a school principal, and he played at Ocean Springs. I tell you, when I went to visit him after he moved to Mississippi and went to his school, they had a stadium. Football in Mississippi and Alabama and Texas, Florida. It's a little bit
Pretty
different than
serious.
other parts. They had a full stadium that would probably sit 20,000 people. I mean, a stadium, separate stadium, and people would come, shut down their businesses and come from all around to watch the Greyhounds. But anyway, Greg, if you ever see this, congratulations. Grew up with him in El Sobrante, California. His dad was a senior manager or vice president of Standard Oil, and they opened up a
Cool.
refinery in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Moved to Ocean Spring, and I went down there when I was 16, 17 years old. I loved the South. I just loved the girls' Southern accent. That was a big deal. I melted when I heard those voices. But anyway, it was a good time. Different down there, that's for sure,
Yeah.
where I was from. But
Oh, nice.
yeah. So
Well,
that
you
was
get to hear that all the time around here, man.
the Southern drawl.
Oh yeah.
So-
It's not as bad to me. I don't think it's as bad, but probably to you. Once anybody north of the Mason-Dixon line hears you all, it's like, yep, Southern. That's the dead giveaway. But
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of Northerners say that, and it's, people tell me I sound Southern. I don't think I do, but maybe I do to you. Hanging around, I don't do the use guys and all that, but
I don't know. Californians don't have accents. We just talk fast.
yeah.
We don't listen much. We talk a lot.
No, my God. No,
But,
we're gonna sign you up for one of our workshops, man. It's called listening.
All
I
right.
have to get you hooked in.
Well, I know. Congratulations for being able to see the granddaughter.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. And something I did was I took a picture. I probably should have downloaded it, but I don't. It's not my child, so I don't want to do that. But I reversed. You know how you can hold up, takes a camera shot of somebody. So what I did is I reversed it so she could see herself in the screen,
Uh-huh.
and she touched the screen and was smiling and got great pics. I'll have to send them here at the end. Yeah, it was neat because she just touched. I said, touch the screen, and she touched the screen. Click. So I figured out a way to use your iPhone for kids that are, not even 2 years old, because they see that and they're fascinated.
Next year they'll be teaching you how to use it.
Oh, I know. And she was looking at Big Bird and Ernie and Elmo, and when she saw him, her eyes lit up and she was touching it. So she's into that.
We got
Very
some
well
of these
be-
eyeballs on us right at the moment. Is that?
Who
that's
do we
you- that's-
have? Comments.
We just want to welcome anybody that's out there watching us. Tag and share this. You might get something yourself personally. Somebody you know may take advantage of some of the stuff Mark and I are going to be chatting about. We'll give you the top. We're going to be window shopping here in a moment, so that's our topic. And I'll let Mark jump into
Window
that.
shopping.
Little
Hey, that's a
window
good
shopping.
one. Speaking about windows, yeah. But we were going to go Saturday, and we didn't go Saturday. And Tom mentioned about window shopping. Well, um, we're looking to replace some windows. I watch everybody flood me now, any sales guy out there, but for our house. And so we got a quote from one of those big box companies, or, had to sit through a presentation as well. That was pretty unique,
How
to
long
say
was
the
it?
least. Well, that's the best part of it. It was almost 3 hours. Now, I want to know how many people have ever sat through, and I've done it just to go to Disney, a presentation, for condo or timeshare or whatever. And I'll never forget my son, Jacob, came in and I told the guy, I said, look, just give us the tickets because we're not going to buy. And I said, I told you in the front end why we're here, and these are the two reasons we're here. And he was frustrated. He said, "Give him the tickets." So we got to go to Disney for the day. It was kind of cool,
Yeah.
but I had to sit through. That was probably a little over an hour. But this one was 3. Everything you wanted to know about doors and windows and were afraid to ask, I learned about, or was told about, talked to about, and so forth.
We got Robert Brooker gave us a little heart. How about that? Hey, good Canadian Day today to you, buddy. Thank you for jumping in. And if you've got any comments, please post them, and we'll share them if they're appropriate. We'll leave it at that. But, yeah, so
Hey, there he is. The Oh Canada is in the house. So anyway, I'm sitting there with Gina, and we're like thinking, hey, this will be, maybe an hour tops. Oh man, all I'm going to say is that the way some of these companies, and I don't fault the individual, it's what they're told and how they're told to do things, and kind of scary. Um, and
they're a one meeting closed company, right?
oh, what do you call a caveman who doesn't know where he's going? Neanderthal. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
Who
We
wrote
need
that?
a hand clap, cymbal crash. Robert could be known as the unknown comic. Put a paper bag over your head and then Chuck Ferris. And there you go. Hey, I like it. But we were looking at maybe 2 windows, 2 doors, and man, I could not believe cost and how long it takes, and you know, it was pretty wild though, Tom, to sit through 3 hours. I thought I was in yesteryear for a second.
Yeah, did he set some expectations when you did the warm up period with him, or
Now, well, we got through the rapport part just fine, but when now define expectations, because maybe my expectations and theirs were like on 2 different wavelengths. I think we had a nice way to say this. If Larry Levine was out there, it was the commission breath to the nth degree. That's kind of how I felt. But again, I think that's how. Hey, Robert, I think that's how he was, told to do this, so to speak. You get in there. This is how you do it, and you get an order. And the thing is, to install this stuff, we would have had to wait close to a month, but they still want your money. It's kind of wild.
yeah?
Like anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks is a window when they can work you in the system. So that part was different as well.
Well, you figure it's going to take at least once they get the dimensions such of the product and get it to the manufacturer. It's going to take at least 3 weeks to get that made. I
Yes.
remember when I was in the window business, the company,
Sure.
national company, it was a good 2 to 3 weeks before we would even get inventory on the project.
Right.
So
Right.
It was always, we were a busy company, so, so we had backlog. And that was part of our closing. If you want your windows in before snow, we
Well, that's
encourage you to
kind
make
of
a
that's.
decision next,
Did
hopefully
did
tonight, but within the next 2 weeks, because that will
did
push you
you
into the snow period.
did you use the fear factor by chance?
No, we didn't use fear. We we were a relationship selling,
Okay,
uh,
and that's
getting in,
good.
finding out what the warm up stuff, a little bit about them. What are their expectations
Mhm.
about a contractor, a product, or whatever? Have they? What caused them to call us, so that we have a good sense of what are they looking for?
Oh, could you just
Asking a
go
lot of
back? Could you just start with that first question? Yeah. What did
what,
you just say? What
what,
caused?
what caused you to contact us? What was the
Now,
what was it?
stop right there. Ask me if I got asked that question.
What caused you to call us today for the data report?
No, I was not asked that question.
You weren't.
Or what are your expectations? Was I asked that question? How do you foresee this project developing in terms of time? How urgent is it for you to get this done, like you said, by uh, fall? Or do you want to wait? You want to get it in before the holidays, because we know how that can be. Once you get in after Halloween, then you have November. You've got Thanksgiving, and then were we asked those questions? No.
I
Um,
was always taught to ask them where they are in the investigation side. Have
yes.
you had other quotes? Have you had other estimates? Um, is it about price, or is it what are the things that are important to you in your decision making process? I would ask them right
Right.
up front. We're going to cover
See,
something. Let them know we're going to cover some things about our company, our track record. We'll cover some things about the product that make us unique over other companies' products, our history, our service, our installation techniques,
right.
things that are important to know about. So we set the expectation, and then we just ask questions. We had a series of checklist questions, a survey questions. How long you been in
Sure.
the home? When did you start noticing leakage, or whatever the case is? And we just went down. What are you looking? Like you said, what time frame are you looking to get this project done? Is it something you're going to do, or just sort of investigating? Is it something you're going to
Right.
do at some
Oh
point if
man, these
everything
are.
lines up and
Listen to this. Tom's not even the guy in my house. I wish he would have had him, because I probably would have been out of there in an hour.
well, we
Um,
were taught to be done in less than 2 hours. A good inspection, depending how big the project you're looking at,
sure.
it's going to be a half hour, 45 minutes by itself. I'd always have the couple go with me. I never did one-legged. If there was a one-legged, we'd have to reschedule because we want
No,
to make sure.
and we were both there, man. So we were golden. We were there. We were attentive.
Did he have you
We
come
even
along on
took
the
notes.
inspection and the measure and point things out to you or explain things to you?
Yeah, yeah. He did some of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's when we started getting into the fear factor. What needed to get done right away and why, and yeah, and water damage and all that
Well,
fun stuff.
sales are made at an emotional level, so fear is one of those emotional things. So
I don't get too emotional now about money. I just don't, or repairs, or I mean, I shouldn't say that. I do care. That's not what I'm getting at. But it. And if anybody's listening to this, Robert, you'll probably weeding out the tire kickers. Yeah. Well, I'm not a tire kicker. Something's going to get done, but there's a certain way I like to approach things, and the knowledge was there. Uh,
well,
Information on the product was there, all that was there, but it wasn't geared for the customer. I guess that's where I'm coming. It wasn't tailored. It was more like, here's what we do, here's how we do it, and and I won't even get into the numbers, guys, because you'll probably wig out if I shared some of these, which I'm not going to be an idiot and do. But it's different. I mean, if I told somebody that you could be looking up to $20,000 for a door today, I mean, I'm looking at Tom right now through the screen. I saw the head shake.
Was it a bank door or whatever? Was it
Yeah,
was it a safe door or whatever?
yeah. I but it's interesting, and I know the difference between car and automobile. They used to say is price. We could get into that one as well. But if you notice here, Tom, what I did, and I know I don't bang my drum enough, but you will look above Robert there. That's a listing. If anybody's ever interested, yeah, yeah, weed out the tire kickers. Feel free to go to our website. If you ever want to take a look at the content we offer in terms of a 1 hour workshop, it covers a plethora of subject matter that we're kicking around here right now. Anywhere from listening to emotional intelligence, how to prospecting, if you do or don't do it, your approach to it, how to leave messages for people that you get a response. And nothing's 100% guaranteed to the nth degree. Tom, would you agree with that?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Nothing's guaranteed to the nth degree. I'm just sharing some subjects that we're talking about here. Like, there's a new one we got out, proactive prospecting in the AI age. How about that? That's a complete program. That's kind of cool, and you can go check it out. I'm going to even actually pull up the web on that. But when I was talking to you guys about, for instance, financial justification, compelling presentations, leading a team, leading the sale, leveraging your strengths as a leader, persuasive sales, that's the granddaddy of them all. And then I just mentioned the last one here, proactive prospecting in the AI age. That is the latest and greatest one we have out there. So those are type of things we offer. And then, we were kidding around about everything you were doing there, Tom. I was trying not to laugh, not at you, but I was agreeing with you. What makes a great salesperson? Contact, connect, and communicate. How you go about that. Proactive prospecting. Now, these are 1 hour. These are all little workshops we have, but there's a message to them. And if you want to know more, we can tailor it. Generating business with the use of LinkedIn, establishing value, buying influences, asking questions and qualifying things that, or my all-time favorite, listening. You can even take that in a social setting. And I won't bore you with everything. I'm not going to read everything to everyone out there, but those are the things that we offer. Yeah. And they're practical. And you can go in for an hour. It's a quick hitter. You get in, you get out, and you're done. And by the way, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just sharing you some things. And earlier today, I had a phone call, and they have their way of doing it. And it was a big boxer, and they don't really use, this is a franchise operation. And, I just asked one question. Have you ever thought about implementing something different if you're not getting the results you want? And then I just shut up.
Yeah, I remember when I was with the company, I was there out of Cincinnati, a national company. They made vinyl windows. And they wanted a one-close presentation. You're there until you they get fatigued.
Yeah, my finger is the gun. It's at your head. Outrun the bullet. Now, and that's, or I was waiting to hear feel, felt, found. And if I heard that, I was going to I'm out of here. He didn't do it. But it's interesting.
We were taught that, but I had a sales. It was a regional manager manages two stores in the area, different cities. He gave us the leeway of personalizing it and that type of thing. It was all about results. He came back with a contract, a check.
Sure.
He was happy. He didn't care how he got it done. But he let us have the evaluation. We do our presentation. We'd have every week we did presentations with the team, and
I'll share something with you, Tom, and that's a great point because when I was out there, believe it or not, knocking on doors, literally, I won't tell you how long ago that was, but I think everybody should do this. You want to talk about humility and being humble, and then you take about 3 or 4 steps back because you never knew, like, get the off my property, boy, or someone pulls up a firearm pointing, what do you want? It depended where you're at in rural Georgia. But there was a gentleman, and he had an immaculate yard. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I possibly going to talk to this guy? And I had to go up to him, and I said hi, and he said, hey, how's it going? And I said, well, it's a little hot out here today, obviously, in Georgia. You show me a summer where it isn't.
Was it lawn care services?
Yeah, but what I noticed,
I did that in the back, in between.
In between work, right, or jobs. But what I noticed, he had golf clubs, and he had some super cool Taylor custom-made clubs. Man, they were killer looking. I remarked to him about, man, you do a tremendous job on the yard here. I mean, God bless America. Look at this thing. I mean, how do you do it? And he goes, well, it ought to be because I spend a lot of weekends here. And then I said, man, are those your clubs over there? Yeah, and I said, how much do you play? I mean, boy, I'll bet you're a primo player. And he goes, well, that's just it. I'm out here in the backyard doing this crap. So then the light bulb went, and I went, oh my God, I may have something here. I said, hey, how would you like to get some time back if I could show you how to do that where you could possibly golf? Maybe not every Saturday, every other Saturday, or, depending on what your wife wants you to do. I can't promise that. And he started laughing. He says, well, what do you got? So I explained it to him how it works, these applications, putting on pre-emergence lines, things that he was already doing. And I said, if we can maintain this or even offer you some things to upgrade a little bit, would something like that interest you? And he said, show me what you got. So we sat down on his porch and drew some numbers up for him and how we could do it and guesstimated his square footage, and he was in,
Yeah.
And we set up 4 programs. I said, let's do 4. You automatically get 4 for this price, and our guys will come out. And yeah, he started whacking the ball, or at least doing 9 or going to the range. And because before that, he was spending a lot of the time in his yard.
He wasn't happy spending his Saturdays on yard work.
No.
He loved his yard, right?
Right.
He gave him a solution. That's the whole thing about sales.
Right,
It wasn't the product. It wasn't any of that.
No.
What was really important to him was, man, if I don't have to do this every Saturday.
Right, and I was laughing about it because then I had to walk around the corner. That was back in the day when you had the 2-way phone, so they could tell you. They were tracking me. Hey, you were at that guy's house for like 40 minutes. What's going on? And I'm like, okay, I got an order. Oh, okay, yeah. So because they notice you on the Geiger scale, like, Tom Gins, he stopped walking. What's going on? Because they even had it figured out how long it took to knock and say what you had to say and move on to the next door. I mean, it was a riot. But we'd go in subdivisions. I can tell you a story. I think 3 times I got stopped by the cops. Once I got told to put my hands up, and they did a pseudo pat down. they had me casing homes for theft. Someone called in their subdivision, and he said, Mark, you are legit, because I had a ID card and all that, and he checked me out, and he goes, can you just knock on another subdivision and not come in here at all? So I had to tell him, hey, we can't knock here anymore. Now, I don't know how they do it anymore, if they still...
Well, the way I was with a national known lawn care company, and before they would go into a community, they always went to the city hall and got a solicitor's permit.
Oh, we got all that. We did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had a copy of that so that
Mhm.
we're authorized. The
Sure.
police know, the city knows, blah blah blah.
But
They
if
get
they
their little
want you
revenue.
removed out of their subdivision, you got to go. I mean, he said, "Can you knock?" Technically, I probably couldn't have been a butthead, but I'm like, I'm not going to argue with this police officer. Said, "Can I go across the street?" He's like, "Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead." And then I said, "Oh, unless someone complains." And he started laughing. But the kicker was when he was getting in his car, I said, "Well, officer, where do you live at? And how about yourself? Do you need lawn care? I'm sure your wife would like an immaculate looking lawn." And he just told me, "Go on, man. You're good." But he said, "Have fun." And I'd see him every now and then. But that's a good point. Yeah, you have to get a authorization.
Yeah, most communities require some sort of permitting to, because you go walk up to people's homes. There's no solicitation. That has nothing. It just says we just don't want you knocking on our door. But
Right.
you have the right to be there if you have a permitted authorization. So
Yes.
and
I mean, I always told them.
I didn't pay any attention to any of the no soliciting.
No,
Did you see
well,
that? Did you see-
none of us ever did. What's that mean? Yeah. Well,
there.
I'll never.
Now they got the ring. They can see.
Oh yeah.
I walked up to a place the other day and rang on the doorbell. It says, "You're under," a woman's voice came out, "You're under surveillance." This is a ring camera. I jumped at first. I go, "What the hell? What?"
Right.
But,
Sometimes people would have fun with me too. You know,
I'm sure.
this is your local sheriff. You need to take 3 steps back. Hey, I'm just kidding you with, man. I'm coming. Yeah, they come out to the door. But sometimes, when you're it's twilight and it's summer and you're in, like I said, rural Georgia, and you're waiting for your team to come pick you up. I can remember it was like twilight, and I'm like, okay, where is the car? Where, because we would share rides. Like it was like this week you would drive, and then the next week I'd drive, and I'm like, look, dude, where are you at? I want to get out of here now.
Yeah.
I want to get back home. And you don't think of
I
what.
tell you what, when I had my financial service country, I hired salespeople,
Sure.
and I would, if somebody had done what I was doing when I was younger, the door knocking and
Right.
in-home presentation experience, because those things are disciplines to be learned. It's just learn to be with people, how to interface, how to read
Right.
people, how to pick up the golf clubs. Being aware of your surroundings, and then bring that into the conversation. Oh man, you must be a golf man. Those are pretty high-end clubs.
Oh,
Where
they
do you
were.
go?
They were impeccable. I mean, I think they were brand new, and he probably didn't even use them that much. And I think he was disgusted because I can still see them. You know how things stick in your mind? And I could just see the dejected look, like he was weeding or bending over, spraying this. And I was just like, man, but look at the yard. And he just said, I spend too much, damn time out here. Yeah, I'm under surveillance. My response, well, everyone needs a hobby. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but
But
if I was dealing with that guy, says, "Hey, I got a special today," and if you make that after I answer your questions and share with you what we can do, and it frees up
Right.
time for you, things are important for you. If you make that decision today, you get a round of golf or something.
yeah, he would have gone crazy for that one. Yeah, no two ways about it. I mean, but yeah, it's I think you hit the nail in the head how you approach it, and that's
Basically, is have fun with people.
yeah.
Smile on your face, make a joke. I mean, with it's appropriate, right?
Right.
But
Well, I got to tell you, on Friday, I don't normally call, I hate the word gatekeeper, but the lady receptionist, and sometimes it's a guy, and it was hilarious because right when I dialed it, but it was too late, she picked up right away. This guy was actually out of the country, and I just noticed the preface, because I dialed, it had direct line, but it really was the corporate office. But she picked up, she goes, "Oh, yes, I think, where was he? In India or so? I can't remember." And I said, "Well, I don't think I'll be getting him today. Do you?" And she just started laughing. She said, "Oh, you seem like a lot of fun." I said, "Well, hope you don't mind that, I communicated with you here today, but, I figure consider the day a total loss unless I make somebody laugh or either give me hell and she just started howling. She said, "You're a trip." But I think that's how you have to approach it. Just have fun with it.
Yeah. I've got some points here dealing with home improvement sales, whether it be a roof, siding, air conditioning,
Sure.
home improvement things. What to expect and then how to verify that information. Because people give you bullshit all day long, you're right? Thorough inspection and questions. We talked about in the beginning, asking those questions. Having a checklist. Asking. I said, the reason I need to ask these questions, it shortens up the process.
Sure.
Do you have a place we can sit down so I can write this information down on my survey of your project? And I get you to the table. It's going to speed things up. You term, oh God, get this guy out of here, but you always make it so that there's a benefit for going to the next step.
Sure, absolutely.
And asking questions, let them tell you, because they will give you their why. If you
I don't even think we got to a why. I mean, we have a why, that there's no doubt about it, but I don't think he understood the why. He was too much into the plug and play, because it was.
Let me tell you all about the company and the product and all that stuff.
And then you put in the numbers, and then it spits out. It's the way they're set up, and I'm not. They're just organizations out there. That's how they roll.
You know how I got around that? I says, Mark, everybody that you're going to be talking to probably has really good products. If you're dealing with reputable companies, been around.
Sure. Oh, absolutely, they do.
There's not a lot of difference between windows per se, because they meet standards, certifications for energy savings. So that stuff, it's in the brochure, I said the most important thing is, how is this product going to be installed? There's good ways and bad ways, and we explain that. What's the upside, downside? This is how we're going to do it. We talk about the warranty, the added value that we bring to it. I'm always here for you. I'm just not here to sell you and never see you again. If you have issues at any time during this entire process or after, you always have access to my. Matter of fact, Mark, I did get a text message or a text message about a year ago from a client I sold a sunroom to.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I got some issues with, the text was, can you get back to me on some issues on the sunroom? On one of the window panes or something was broken. I text her back, thanks for reaching out to me. I'm no longer with the company. You've been gone for 10 years. I said, contact XYZ at the office in Madison, blah, blah, blah. But, that told me a lot. I must have done something good. She should remember to give me a call.
Oh, absolutely. That has happened to me
That's like
as
15,
well.
20 years ago. So that, I never expected that.
No, and that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
But
ask questions, listen.
There's that word again, listening. It's
diagnosing underlying issues. If you're doing siding or doing windows or something, if you notice any dry rot or whatever, tell them what needs to be done to remedy that problem and the downside. That's that thing you call fear.
Because I think there's a way to go about it, and I think that's where I'm coming from, Tom. There's just a way to go about it. Heaven forbid if a doctor did that with one of his patients. We need to perform open heart surgery right now, because if you don't, you may not even be here tomorrow. I mean, you want to talk about fear? Now there, maybe some people would say, yeah, let's do it now, but it just depends. But I'm just saying.
I always took the educational approach.
Right.
You know, why you get dry rot, how did it get there, what was the problem with that old window, whatever the case is. Our
Right.
product's going to solve that problem. This is how we're going to do the flashing, or whatever the case of the insulation, so you don't get this problem again. Matter of fact, you'll never get any dry rot with our windows because they're vinyl foam filled framing
Right.
versus a wood wrap, type product. But,
No, absolutely. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
do the educational approach. Keep it simple at their level. Ask them if they have any questions. Don't interrupt me. You can interrupt me anytime you want. And but if you get nothing but questions from them, you're out of control. You got to control when the questions come.
For instance, I'll throw one at you, and this is always a good one. How can we get to be one of your choices? A service contractor for the future. How can we, and what's important to you? What are you looking for from a company? Yeah, like you said, everybody's got windows, and what's important to you about this project? And some people tell you price, quality, yeah.
Installation,
Hmm.
those type of things. Quality work. Warranties. What does that mean?
Right. Or I'll tell you what kind of blew me back is, when should I call you back? Or, can I send you a calendar invite? I just wouldn't show up to somebody's place. Now, it depends on what you're selling. Like, we were kidding about lawn care. You just got to go on to the next one. But that was kind of wild. I don't know if I'd be doing that, making an
Well, I tell
appointment.
you how our company worked. We did the door. They had a whole printout and mapped
Sure.
out like I was talking about.
Sure.
We had a little walkie-talkie. You check
Right.
in every so often and give an update where you're at, and then you'd come back into the office.
Hmm.
You'd get picked up from your territory that you were working, bring you back, and they had a telemarketer that would make the calls to schedule the next
Right.
appointment. So
Right.
So they had.
Yeah.
We says you're gonna thank you for your time. Blah blah blah. We do value
Right.
you and respect your time and that type of stuff. But we'll be in touch with you with the
Right.
phone call if anything
And see,
changes.
that's what we would do when it rained. We would call back appointments, people that we saw, and reschedule another time to finalize everything. Particularly the ones that you hit the nail on the head. If both parties weren't there, if it was husband and wife or a significant other, it's a no-go. It's just not going to work too well.
One-legged.
Yeah, it's just not a beautiful thing. Particularly when you're talking investment in a piece of property, or you're talking $60,000 or more. That's fairly significant. People aren't just gonna, Tom, write me a check for 60. I got you covered.
Before I do that, I got to ask my wife, right? My finance officer. I never make a decision over XYZ without bringing my wife.
Well, I used to kid people. I said I'm a member of the M&G Corporation, and actually the G Corporation has more say than the M Corporation co-owner. So I got to reference that, and because they looked at me and said, "What are you saying?" I'm like, "It's Mark and Gina. None of my posts are financial advice." That's okay. It's fine, Rob. But Robert, if ever you get bored, if you look at where I put those links, and I'm just saying for fun, share them with people. That is what I do, and I don't get up here and try and ram it down your throat on virtually. But you can see all the different programs and platforms and some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And the rest
red
is up to
flag-
you.
I'll just share some red flags when you're dealing with home improvement. High pressure today only discounts. They get we'll give you 20% off if you.
Ask
One
me
more
if I
forward,
heard that day. Just say, Mark, did you hear that day? Yeah, I did.
Yep. You want to
Yeah, I
avoid
did.
that. If the
Yeah.
price is
Oh,
going to be
absolutely.
discounted, it's going to be good tomorrow, right?
The-
You always,
I will say that-
always let them know we value your time. My time is valuable too,
Yep.
and we're willing to make that value discount
Right.
if you can move forward.
Right.
You win, we win, I win. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
You tell them why you want to make that decision today.
Yeah.
It cost us to come back again. That's why we can't make that discount in the future, because it's time is money.
Well, the thing is, the quote's good for a year, which is interesting. But then the discounts, like you just said, some of them weren't. And, I'm like, well, what's the difference here? Why? I mean, so are we talking about just kind of like how people are making changes with their insurance, Tom? They're going online and doing it, depending on what they're looking for their car or their home, depending on the type car they have. Because some of these guys get paid pretty good dollars for a commission on insurance.
Oh yeah. Another red flag: value or hidden cost. Quotes that lack written specifics on materials, labor, permits, or timeline
Right.
should be avoided.
Right. Right.
And the reluctance to leave a copy.
Oh no,
Or have
I
a
got
copy.
something. I got it sent to me.
Yeah, a reputable company will leave a physical or digital copy
Sure.
with the exact proposed price breakdowns, blah blah blah, without forcing immediate signature.
Even if they are astronomically high, yes.
I always dealt when they, I'd always want to find out what are they looking for with a company.
Right.
Is it price only, or is it strictly? Because if you want price only, I can give you a lot of companies that do it for a lot less than us. But
Oh, sure.
it'd be a regretful situation. So I'd be glad to help you out in that area if you like. Be upfront with them. I know XYZ companies probably half as much as we are,
Right.
but look at their Better Business reports.
Right.
So you back
No,
it up.
these are all good points. What type of a product is it? Is it inferior? Kind of like Little Giant ladders. There's a new one out there called Gorilla. So they're trying to go toe to toe. The Gorilla ladders are pretty good. They got some pluses, but it's still not a Little Giant. Because now Home Depot seems to be carrying that over the Little Giants. I didn't see any in there. Up the road, there's a Home Depot. I found that interesting. But yeah, Robert said, set the floor. I guess he's trying. Yeah, set the floor and explain it. Okay. Explain. All right. I don't know if he meant or, but thank you for sharing my YouTube. My feed on YouTube. Those are all different feeds, Robert. So feel free to share those out as well. One is workshops, one is programs, and the other is our overall site. I can use all the help I can get, And, just so you know, Robert, I dealt with someone that lives Barrie, Canada. Talked to them last week. Very nice man. And I teased him. We're like 2 hours and 30 minutes from Algonquin State Park. So, yeah.
Well, I know, sir, thank you I just want to thank you for your time today and allow me to share our product, our company, our services, finding out what's important to you. I'm going to leave a quote for you here right now. And the discounts are good for whatever, a year
Right.
proposal. The base price is always going to be guaranteed for a year, but the discount has a limited time on it.
Sure.
Explain why, just like I did.
Yes.
For somebody to come back, it costs money. So if we can make it today, it's a win-win-win for everybody. They have to come back
Right.
many times.
Right.
And, I recommend that you get 2 to 3 quotes and make sure you're looking at the reputation of the company.
Oh, absolutely.
Products are going to be very similar in glass quality and reflective, all that. Some features in the windows are going to be different. That may be a big deal or not, depending on the nature.
And you gotta, and I think, Tom, that's the other thing. You gotta weigh the difference of price, quality, warranty, the type of organization you're working alongside of, how they finance things or don't, or payment plans.
If people don't realize this, warranties are built into the base price of any,
Yes,
whether it be roofing product, the warranty's built in based
yes,
on statistics, X amount of repairs, whatever has
right,
to, history dictates what the warranty's going to cover and it's built into the price
right.
per unit or for whatever. And people do that. Warranties aren't free. They don't just give them away. You're paying for it. You're paying for it.
No, no.
The more you get in that warranty that's validated and clear what it means, what lifetime memberships, transferable warranties, what is product warranty, who covers that, who covers the installation warranty, that's XYZ company. Because the manufacturer warranty doesn't cover the installation warranty. That's the contractor usually has insurances that cover that. And he's paying for that warranty. They're buying
and no, these are all great points, and I'm thinking of a friend of ours, Jim Skursky, and we probably need to bring him back with the land of AI now evolving, because Jim would share some stories like people would actually commit on the calendar and no-show them. I mean, that's horrible. And I think he instituted a cancellation fee or something, which I think is more than fair.
Yeah.
When you say you're going to be there, come on. And that's the worst way to be ghosted. I mean, it's one thing on the phone, but when you physically, I tell you, yes, I'll be at my house at 2:00, and you come by and I'm nowhere to be found. I'm MIA. That's not good.
You know how I handled that was taught to me by a very experienced person that didn't show. Don Brown is a friend of mine. He, matter of fact, was the best man at our wedding. He says, when you go to an appointment, it's no show, don't blame it on them.
Yeah.
You call them up, say, hey, Mr. Jones, I have to apologize. I got tied up on my previous appointment. I was running late.
Yep.
And couldn't make it in time. So you always took the responsibility.
Well, if they have any type of conscience, they're going to call you back.
Yeah.
I mean, now I had to cancel on someone and they were on the way, but I did reschedule. Because if a person is a man of their word or woman of their word, or however you want to phrase it, they'll come through with the goods and say, hey, I'm sorry, double booked, we got a family situation, can we reschedule this? That's totally different. I get that. That can happen.
Yeah. We had appointment incentives.
Right.
If you schedule an appointment with us, you'll get a $50 gift card from XYZ
Sure.
restaurant or whatever. So, but if you didn't keep your appointment, the next appointment, you didn't get your gift card.
Gift card, yeah. Here's something like Robert said when he was saying set the floor and explain it, meaning set the price floor and walk the customer through why the costs, step by step.
Sure.
I get what he's trying to say there, and absolutely.
Yeah. Why we can discount today, not tomorrow?
Or is there another way we can, in terms of money, finance this or price it out, or what other options do you have? You can't just say we're the best. Here's the price. This is how we do it. Because not everybody. That's a one size fit all. Not everybody fits that mold.
Yeah, and you just asked me one question I would ask is, do you see the value of our product, the value of our service, what we do, the warranties, etc.? You need 8-10 windows right now, whatever the project looks like. What would be your feelings about do it in segments? Do a
like
segment
incrementally. Yeah, absolutely. Do it incrementally,
Yeah. Now you know what, and guess what? We'll guarantee that price for a year. But
I think once you start the process, I'd have to look at the finer print, even if it exceeds the year. In other words, what I'm saying is, let's say you wanted like 8 windows and you did it like, like two, like that, 4 different times. I believe that's part of the process as well, which to me is fair because you're making a commitment to do it.
Well, number of things works for an advantage. Number one, they're going to see the actual experience of the crew that comes out and how they handle the home.
Oh, sure.
Clean, keep the yard clean, blah, blah, whatever's associated. I tell you what, roofing is a major headache for roofers to leave it pristine, not having nails,
Right. Oh, it's
those type of things.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then they experience it, then they even feel better, even though there might be a slight increase in price on the second set or the third set because of time and those type of things.
right.
They've already experienced you.
Right.
And
Well, they
don't
know
wanna
what type.
You don't want to mix match vendors because you get a little different look. I mean, they might be the same color.
And that's another great point. How skilled and trained are the installers? You know, do
Yeah.
they? You know, so
Our
you got to
company-
there's so much to
representative
factor in.
Had employee installers, so they weren't just general contractor. Oh, we need. Oh shoot, we got booked too many sales. Let's call up some general contractors.
You probably see a lot more than that in roofing, I would imagine. You know,
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
Well, there's window contractors out there that are,
yeah, and they're probably in all endeavors. You know.
yeah. But anyway, that's window shopping.
I appreciated talking about that, but anyway, if anybody's listening, it was 3 hours. Man, and I was wiped out. I was exhausted. Like that morning, I had done about 4 to 5 hours worth of yard work and did some other things outside the house. But man, when that thing was over, I was like, whoo. I was like wiped out.
We've got some people jumping in and out of here. We had 11 there a minute ago, and I got down to 9. Thank you for jumping in, catching.
Yeah, feel free to share this, and even if you didn't make a comment, that's okay.
Yeah,
We're not gonna.
Mark's email is going across the bottom.
Yep.
My email is now going across the top.
Look at that. Got the top
If you
and
have
the
any
bottom.
questions about a home improvement, I was a certified new home construction specialist for a developer in Madison. So we went through the whole thing about good building techniques, everything from digging the foundation to
Right.
everything, every aspect was certified in understanding what a good quality job is and what meets code, what doesn't, what to look. So I had some really good background.
Right.
I could take a look at a project, and with my inspection, I would see things that other people wouldn't see, whether it be good or bad. Say, hey, I tell you what, whoever did this last job did a wonderful job.
True.
Whoever built this house for you screwed you over big time.
It's you got to
And why,
autograph. Right. It's all about autographing your work with excellence, and if
Yeah.
you make that effort, even if you screw up, as long as you're not trying to hop into someone's wallet in the process, they're going to say, "Hey, that happens," And anybody can make a mistake,
Well, my friend, you got two-stepping to go tonight.
I know, and do check out. Look at that. But do check out salesconcepts.com and see what you think. See if it's a joke. It's not, and really take a look at some of the programs that are out there.
Yeah, there's Mark's email. Give him a shout.
Or you can email me and ask me about it. That's my personal email. I don't mind.
Sure.
Feel free, and I'll be more than happy to share any link or any info. If you know somebody that needs training, I'll be more than happy to talk to them, or even you. But if you notice, I'm not out here like flailing away and coming at you from all angles, because there's a lot of noise out there on the internet these days on all sorts of product gizmos. What's it called? The business card recording device now. There's a new thing out, Tom, that it attaches to your phone and it records everything, and it's kind of like Otter, AI or whatever, but it's really sophisticated. And there's so many different, I can't even keep up with it. They keep coming at you by leaps and bounds. All sorts of technology.
Well, my time's up. I'm going to keep my word.
That's right. And I appreciate it. You guys, yep. It is. It is time, and I just want to say thank you all who listened to us rant. We are going to get a guest on here. I promise you. I promise you, we'll have a guest on here. And maybe this could be apropos to bring Jim back and have him share, because he's doing some different things, and I know him from the Peachtree Corners Business Association. By the way, those of you that are a member, I would welcome you guys to come here, and it would be all about you and what it is you do.
Sure.
And all Tom and I are going to do is, just kind of orchestrate it so the word gets out there to your audience.
Well, my friend, you're going to be two-stepping. Don't step
Yes,
on
sir.
those toes.
This is session 1 tonight.
Oh,
so
you're going to
it's
step on our toes for sure. That's
No. It's quick, slow, quick, slow. So we'll get into that, and then how you do, an inside turn and left turn, right, and, promenade, and all that fun stuff. And yeah, get to feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot all over again.
All right. Well, have fun.
I will.
Watch the toes and enjoy. So we are going to end.
All right. Thanks again, everybody.